Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, July 29th. We're past FOMC. We had some more earnings out last night, and Facebook looked like it just, ooh, somebody came along and stomped on it. So if we take a look at it, it's actually trading right now at 360.70, so well off of the lows of the overnight session. But it came down, and here's something I like about it. It tested this gap. So we had this bullish gap here, and let me go ahead and remove this line. So we had this bullish gap here, and it actually came right back down, tested the gap, and as of this morning, of course, it's just pre-market. It is actually moving on up. The low there was at 357.50, and that gap was at 357.19. So it came about 31 cents there within of touching that gap. So holding that gap, we'll see what that works out as the day. Would I swing trade this on a reversal? Maybe not yet. I do like that reversal that is working, but I would like to see it continue on. But I think it's going to be a great day trader today. Apple had its earnings a couple days ago and looked like it was going to reverse. Actually snuck up here and went green for just a little bit yesterday. Came back down, resting comfortably on the 20, and we'll open up on that 20 here on the green side today. Okay, but anyway, let's hop into some charts that we looked at yesterday. We do that scanning at the end of the day, and so we have some of those to go through and a couple of others. NASDAQ is down right now, but we are up in the futures across the rest of the board to include the Russell. But NASDAQ was green yesterday, so just taking a little bit of a break here, and of course, some of those earnings hurting that sector. But let's hop into some that we were watching yesterday, and not just watching yesterday, but then it came back up on scans yesterday afternoon. That is AA. I really like this look here. If you were to draw more trend lines on this, you would see that it has a nice little wedge in there. I'm going to go ahead and remove this one. But this is a trend line I'm looking for it to test and break. We have definitely changed our downward trend here. I don't want to leave that line in there, but draw it in here just for a second so you can see it. We've definitely changed a little bit of our trend here. Excuse me. And Alcoa, we have infrastructure news coming out, right? So the plan is supposed to be out by the end of the weekend. So it looks like some of these names may catch a pretty nice bid. I am watching the 38s here in AA, and so some of these, the 820s are better just because there's not as much open interest yet. But I'm giving you the strike, which is more important because it may build on the in the longer period. I prefer the September 17th right now. AA does have some of those, but as we go through the list, you're going to find that I have some, like STLT here. That is an 820. So the 38 strike in AA, and I would actually look at those out to September. In STLD, however, the 820 strike is really the only one at the moment that has a good good open interest here this morning, and looking to break this trend line to the top side, hold the 50, and move along. In STLD, I would look at the 820 65s. So along with that, let's go ahead and take a look at X. X this morning is above the 50. If it were to open right now, it's going to open with a gap up. But if you look at this yesterday, it closed above the 50. We have earnings, so a nice day trade possibility here in X. So I would look at, obviously, the shorter term, since we know that it would just be a day trade unless you intend to hold on to it. I like the 25s. Now, it's trading at 25.02, so that would be in the money. We don't know if that'll hold, but I still kind of like the 25s. The 26s also have some really good interest there, so that sector just doing well. And one other one that I like here is Dow. Yes, it is. It has just come away from this 200. Been a pretty rough go for it here. It does have this resistance just up ahead. But if you took that volume profile out and look, there's lots of room there from the 20 to the 50. So I like the play of it up to this point of control area, and then maybe a pause, and then a move on to the 50. So I like Dow. I like the 6250 and the 65s both out in September on Dow. So some energies that I like. VLO pushing away from the 200 here. Held and pushed away from the 200, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. And this morning, it's actually going to gap up here. Oh, they had earnings, that's why. Well, I guess we'll just let that go for the moment and see how it works off of earnings. Sorry about that. I did not notice that it had earnings. And then one that we saw yesterday afternoon, Rio. This one I really liked yesterday afternoon. Put in a beautiful candlestick, clearing out a lot of volume resistance, pushing away from, well, this one has earnings too. That's why it's gapping up as well. So a lot of these names gapping up. So I would watch these for ORBs this morning. See, this is what happens when I look at my charts on E-Trade. All right, but like Rio for an ORB, taking a move over into the drug sector, like J&J yesterday, still like it here today for a reversal back up and up over 172.75 for J&J. I like the 917 175s on that. If you look at some other drug makers, Moderna, BNTX, all looking very good this morning. I saw the news that Pfizer said that a third shot, seems almost self-serving, but I'll leave that to here. Yes, so a third shot of Pfizer apparently will help protect against the Delta variant, the COVID Delta variant. Beautiful move yesterday, looking for a continuation. Now this is stretching a lot here, so I would watch this for a day trade here in Pfizer for a move. It's sitting in this wick right now for a move through the high on a pure breakout play. But all of these other ones look just wonderful. Moderna's going into earnings, and BioNTech just had a beautiful day again going into earnings. So keep an eye on those. Another one in the drug sector, ABBV. Now this one does have earnings, so it would just be a day trade. But check this out, looking to break these levels. I wish we had more time before that, before earnings, because this little move up, nice sideways move, and looking for the breakout in ABBV. I would look to the 120s there for August or September. But if it's a day trade, the August ones work just fine. Okay, a couple of others that we looked at yesterday afternoon. Chewy, nice reversal here. We took a nice move up, couple day rest, and started pushing back up. I like this to this shorter term trend line, and then a continuation onto the longer term trend line. I would take a look at the Chewy 90s, the September 90s in Chewy. I also like NET. Beautiful move yesterday. Earnings in a few days, so we could swing this for a day or two. March up, took a break, continued yesterday. Looking for the continued breakout here today. I would look at the 120s and the 130s on NET. I like Snap. Snap held this beautiful bullish gap, started coming back up. I like anything in Snap over 76.80. And in those, I would watch the 80s, the Snap 80s, September or August 80s in that one. And as I mentioned yesterday, MS is going to stay on our list. Love this, just consolidation. Would have liked to have seen a open candle yesterday, but looking for after FOMC. Of course, if we're talking about interest rates and things like raises, the banks will, or actually just the whole financial sector will benefit from that. But yesterday during FOMC, something that is important to know, and we talked about it shortly after. So we just kind of had a ho-hum kind of day. This is the FOMC candle. Really strong push down, push right back up. and then rallied for a good part of the afternoon. But what was happening during this? He was talking about interest rates, inflation, the questions, just peppered with questions about inflationary fears and what they're going to do, and the repos and the the treasury, the bond buybacks. How is that going to work? When are they going to start tapering that off? So with all of that talk, we really did pretty well, held in the top of the range and gave up a little bit on that last candle. But on the daily, if you take a look at it, wouldn't have any idea it was an FOMC day. Just a whole great big quiet, pretty much nothing burger. So we're just sitting quietly here in the SPY. We're taking a little leg up here this morning, but sitting overall fairly quiet here, not dropping a lot of volume, not gaining a lot of volume, but accumulating here. So in the market overall, it is extremely resilient. Facebook got hit. A lot of the big names that did report, they ended up going down, and I think that it wouldn't matter how much that they blew out numbers or didn't blow out numbers. We expect a lot, and of course now everybody's like, well, what are they going to do? Like immediately, what are we going to do next quarter? So we're always looking forward. So something just to think about, that although we didn't get some of those really good reactions that maybe we had hoped for, that we're just used to. It's all kind of baked in. It was a sell the news type of event. So here's the SPY. You can see we're sitting just this is the futures, but it's sitting just as the SPY, sitting pretty nicely here, just accumulating over here, waiting for that next leg up, taking a much needed market rest. Okay, that is it for me this morning. I hope you have a fantastic day. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. Hope you come trade with us. If you have any questions, reach out. Heather C. at givingtreetrading.com.